I'm filming in the bedroom. Excuse me, recording. How old am I? Filming, videotaping, recording in my room. Please enjoy as the lights on my diffuser. Can you see my diffuser? Yes, you can see it. Changes colors. I'm diffusing something called Animal Sense from Young Living. I have cats in here in a permanent apartment type of setup. But, I won't vacuum in here because it disturbs them. They're ferals that I rescued and I'm attempting to tame them. I fell in love with them and I couldn't leave them out. Little 3-kitten litter. Now they're adults. Please don't hiss while I'm talking about you. They get along. They're the same litter. But I will only use shredded newspaper for them because I don't want to have to vacuum in here. It bothers them, the vacuum. So I shred newspapers every morning. And they don't cover up the scent very well. They don't cover up the smell of a litter box very well. So I need to have a essential oil diffuser running at all times. And it needs to be safe for them. Some of these oils are not. So this is specifically pet and animal friendly. Right, Madison? And it changes colors. Please enjoy the light show. Are you crying like a kit fox? I don't know if you could hear him. He makes kit fox noises. He's calling for Star-Lord, and then they socialize. Notice the momentum when you begin some new thing. So a lot of us do the, I'm going to exercise every day. I'm going on a diet. I'm doing this, doing that, posting on social media because I live off camera. Why? There are so many cameras. Why live off camera? For some of us, it's to be held accountable. You're less likely to give up on the commitment if you've, made it in front of people. So the shame of giving up might keep you, sticking with your program. There's also our need for validation from others. Look, if we got a lot of praise and validation when we were kids, we probably wouldn't crave it so much now. I'm of that opinion. So we get it on social media with our likes and our comments and our follows. Some of us will become public speakers or professors or lecturers or teachers. I'm not saying all of us are like this. Don't be adding me. Don't at me. Because people listen to us. And they kind of have to. Unless you're the kind of professor or teacher that won't tell your students to take their earbuds out, which I will do. Like, what is going on here? Class started. But then I hear from another student. She's like, yeah, I think we get too much homework because this teacher feels disrespected. Like, what do you mean? Well, students listening to music during class. What? Control your room. What is this permissive nonsense where you let somebody listen to music while you're lecturing that other students can hear? They could see the disrespect. They can hear the person's music. Just go up to them and say, hey, it's time to pay attention to the lecture now. I will just tell them, this is my class. Turn that over. Turn your phone over on your desk. If it's an emergency, it'll vibrate. You'll look. Anyway, the point is we can kind of demand, expect, create people listening to us. And if we were not listened to, sorry, I'm shaking the little end table thing that the camera's on. I can't sit still when I talk. I gesticulate because I'm Italian. I can say that to the room. You pay attention now. It's time to pay attention now. I couldn't do that as a child, certainly. I was scolded for that. Either my father was tired and gruff and impatient. You know, my mother would right out tell me, if you want money to buy those jeans this weekend. Yes, once in a while I would get new blue jeans. Lee's, not Levi's. I don't know why Lee. I loved them, but okay. Or whatever thing she was going to withhold. If you want to ride over here, if you want to go there, you need to let me earn money, which she was always doing. Granted, she hustled. Play with this ring light a little bit. Yeah, a little better, not much better. She liked to be earning money because that was freedom for her, and she wouldn't have to rely on anyone else. It was a 2-income household. My father worked hard. He was never a slacker. He was 35 years with the company he worked for, Supermarkets General. He was a department manager, and he would get moved around to different pathmarks every few years. He had to work overtime. It was just hard on him. And then came home to a daughter he didn't really understand, and a wife who's just relentlessly critical of him. So if I needed any kind of attention, he was grumpy. He was grouchy about it. I didn't like to bother him. And my mother just didn't enjoy hearing about my day and my successes. She would always change the subject and turn it back to, well, you know, I was a public speaker. I read at my 8th grade graduation. Okay, but I was talking about me. It's not a competition. I'm your kid. I didn't know how to say that at the time, nor did I understand that I could say that. Like, Mom, could you just listen? I want you to appreciate me. Everybody appreciates you. Oh, you don't. I don't know. Look, they did their best. I always had clothes and a roof over my head and food and rides to school, and like, they did the basics of parenting, and sometimes things were lovely, and we would go to the beach as a family. Those are my best memories. They would get along for the most part. We'd go out to nice dinners, and they'd get along for the first half of the outing. Our family gatherings were nice. My mother got banished from her side of the family, P.S. Banished from family gatherings because of the embarrassing comments, drama, just fights picked, just bad behavior. But some of those outings were good. It wasn't all pain and torture. It was a lot of pain and torture, but not all pain and torture. It's being listened to, yes. But what I wanted to address is when we start a new thing and we post it on social media, and YouTube is social media, so is TikTok and Insta, wherever we post our stuff, Facebook, we inspire other people. Now, some of it isn't innocent, and it's a jealousy competition thing. So what? Because I'm used to that from my own mother. I don't care. If that's what you want to do, and you're going to start your own channel or talk about whatever, do it. Even if you're trying to compete with me, do it. If that's what inspired you, if that's what motivated you to get out there and do a thing, then do the thing and talk about it. Who cares if you did it to compete with me? You know how many billions of viewers there are on all these social media platforms? It's not like there's a shortage of people to watch us talk about ourselves. Just do it. But then there's also the idea that, well, you know, I know Lisa in real life, and she's of modest means, and you know, she doesn't buy designer clothes. Like, she's kind of a working class person, and hey, if she could do this, so can I. You don't have to be some slick looking, polished, glamour girl. I get that expression from my mother. That was from the 50s and 60s, 1950s and 1960s. Being a glamour puss or a glamour girl. Or Miss Gaga. Yep, Lady Gaga was using this old-timey, old-fashioned, way of describing a beauty, a glamorous person. Miss Gaga. How great is that? Yet you don't have to be Miss Gaga to turn on a camera and talk about what matters to you. And people will pay attention. Just put the right hashtags or search terms, whatever. People will find you. You'll be surprised you don't need a lot of people in order to feel validated. Start a thing. Do a thing. And if I could inspire you to do the thing, hooray. Because the more people we have in the world who are expressing themselves authentically, moving forward in life, growing, improving, discovering, praying, meditating, setting goals, achieving goals, learning, being more educated. Excellent. That's just excellent. If what we're doing causes more strife and division, it's probably not good for us or the others. So don't look to cause fighting and division. Look to just express yourself authentically, talking about something you care about. Or you don't have to be on social media. Maybe the thing is you want to go to the gym and you're like, well, if she could do it, I could do it. On my at Lisa Sarjay's channel, I have 30 days where I went to the gym 30 days in a row. I think it was pre-COVID. I didn't have a mask on. I don't remember having a mask involved. Yeah, I think it was pre-COVID. I just needed to know that if I wanted to, I could go do that again. It was exhausting and it didn't really energize me at all. But I did it. I did it. And I talked about it. Longer than the time I spent in the gym, I talked about it. So now what am I doing? I'm going outside with a little bag over my hand, the little baggie, I put it over my hand. And I go outside and I pick up a minimum of 10 pieces of litter. I guess it's cheap dollar store garbage bags. I don't know why there is constantly litter all over. And some people are just bad at throwing things away properly. I'll see an entire empty Wendy's order just in the street. Like you got out of the car and you just dropped it. Who does that? Well, I didn't want to bring it in the house, but the garbage is in the house. That would have been a good place to drop it. You don't know. We were taught in school, don't be a litter bug. Pick up your garbage. When you go to a park, once you've had your picnic, you put your garbage in the garbage can. And that could also be a problem. We have these little picnic areas out by me in my garden apartment complex. And if you just throw random stuff in there, the wind is going to pick it up and blow it out of the garbage can. You have to kind of put it in a bag first. But if it's a cheap dollar store bag, squirrels are going to open it. And there's too much litter around me. It's annoying. So complaining won't help until they put up cameras, which maybe I'm not a big fan of a digital surveillance state, but if you started fining people for littering, maybe it would stop. Wouldn't that be nice? But what's the price? Well, we're on camera at all times. And especially in this densely populated area. I'm not saying it's a high crime area, but there's some crime. It's helpful to have cameras around. Perhaps those could be used to enforce picking up when your dog poops. Picking up the frickin' garbage. Pick up your garbage. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it, by gum. I'm going to pick up the garbage. That's my spiteful retort to you. I will pick up the trash. And I do. With the little baggie over my head. And wouldn't it be nice if people saw me doing it? I did. I've had a couple people in the past say, oh, you're the one doing it. Or, I was doing that for a while and then I stopped. I'm like, well, don't stop. Yeah, but there's more and more. I'm like, that's how I feel about dusting and doing the dishes. And also laundry. No matter how much I do, there's always more. So just make it a thing. And yes, it's annoying to pick up after people who won't pick up after themselves. I get it. But it's good exercise for me. And if people see me doing it, maybe they'll care a little more. And maybe they'll put a bag over their hand and pick up some trash. So inspire people just by doing a thing. The momentum of you doing it will keep you going and doing it more, but you'll also create momentum out in the world. And then other people might express themselves artistically, motivationally, religiously, spiritually, artistically. Let people see you doing a thing. And if you don't want to do it on social media, maybe do it outside. You can do yoga in the park, you know. Spring is coming. So that's what I have to say today. Now we have a crock pot going in the kitchen. My friend Marnie, who's a delight, and she's visiting. She's crock potting for me. And now I'm going to, and a girlfriend of ours is coming to join us. And I'm going to make my flourless, crustless cauliflower quiche. It's a hit, and it's keto. It's not low calorie though, because of all the cheese. But it's healthy and it's good, and we're gonna have a very good time eating it. What else did we make? Oh, I baked some broccoli. I sprayed that olive oil spray. I know, propellants, but I needed to make it even and not have a lot on it. With a little salt, pepper, and a little garlic powder. Oh my God, it's so good. My friend Kristen's a vegetarian, so I like to have nice options to serve my friends. So that's it. I'm going to go make my foods. Please leave me a comment, even if it's just a heart. Please like, subscribe. Please share this with other people if you think they might benefit. And be inspired. And you'll be inspiring. That's a good goal. Be well.